Hello my friends, my name is Dragonheart the Prince of Wales and welcome to a beginner's guide to the Lizardmen faction, and we are going to be showing you a campaign sort of start point here with Crockgar. So when you enter a campaign, this is what you greet it with. You greet it with the how they play sort of image by here with some text that will help you. So how they play: Last Defenders. So the Geomantic Web, Blessed Spawnings, they basically tell you what to sort of how they play basically. So Geomantic Web, Lizardmen settlements are linked by an unseen network of power that spans the world. By increasing the power of the Geomantic Web in a province, a Lizardmen faction can increase the potency of any commandments issued there. This is signified at the top by here, so you've got different stages of the ritual. Every faction that plays a Vortex campaign in Warhammer II has this, and you've got to get sort of ancient plaques to be able to do this. You get an option down here, you click that, a beam shoots across the map. It'll go towards where the vortex is, which is by here, where the high elves are based in this part of the map. And you'll be getting different things like chaos units, chaos armies, beastmen armies, and obviously your rivals that you're competing with then, so like Naggarond, Lothern, etc., all vying to try and sabotage this. So it's a bit of a player on kind of first come first serve, and then when you get to the end of this, then this end game sequence, you'll have a big battle and you've got to try and win that big battle to basically win the campaign. That's kind of the victory conditions of it. That's kind of what the Geomantic Web is as such. It does give you lots of benefits. So when you're able to get a Geomantic Web, it'll give you like reduced upkeep, better morale, that sort of thing. Buildings produce more money, so it is worth checking this out as you go through the campaign. And then Blessed Spawnings, then the spawning pools of Lustria will occasionally bring forth an especially gifted set of warriors, which may be recruited once a special mission is completed. So basically, you want to keep an eye on this tab right here, which is the mission issue tab, which has just popped up now. So this one is called the Knowledge of the Stars. Ensure that one of the following buildings have been constructed: Sacred Spawning Caverns, Beast Layer, etc, etc. So there's lots of different ones here. And you'll get a treasury bonus of 500. Always keep an eye on your missions, because if you can knock a mission out of the way, then you'll get some money, which you're going to definitely need in this campaign, especially with the Lizardmen faction. And then another one's been issued to us as well: Rat Spawn Pests. Capture and occupy a settlement belonging to the following faction, Clan Mordkin. And again, treasury is 1,000, and that gives me 8 ancient plaques, which of course will go towards my total up here as well. So you start off in the Temple of Skulls, which is based just by here. You'll see you've got the Cursed Jungle in the north up by here as well, and then you've also got the Serpent Coast. So you've got 2 early settlements you can try and take straight away, but before you do that, you are going to be up against Clan Mordkin, which, as we know from our mission by here, we can get 1,000 in our treasury and some plaques from taking him out, which is what you're going to want to do. We start off with Crockgar, your legendary lord in this campaign. And if I show you his skill points here, you'll see that you've got some unique items you can get from quests. You can have a mount at rank 7, which is a cold one, which will increase his armor, it will increase his speed, and increase his charge bonus. Also his hit points go up by about 500. So it's definitely worth getting that. It is probably worthwhile. And you get a Horned one as well, which gives you better leadership. And then you've got other stuff you can get. You can get a Grimlock at rank 15, and then you go all the way up, and you'll have physical magic resistance and an Honored Elder at rank 20, which is quite useful. Lots of different things you can get in this tree. It's a very good tree, which I would recommend exploring. To start off with though, as this is a sort of beginner's guide to get you on the right path, Route Marchers, always good for any lord, go for that. Get the character's leadership effect as well, Inspiring Presence, and go along that tree. Get your melee attack for Soros units, get that right up. Level 2 it's +6 and +3 armor, and then at rank sort of 3 then at that, it goes up to +8 melee attack for Soros units and +6 for armor for Soros units. I definitely recommend getting that. So Route Marcher, Inspiring Presence, and straight onto this, because he's pretty good anyway at the base of the at the base of the game, and I wouldn't recommend sort of going down his kind of stuff first, which is sort of predatory fighter, weapon strength, armor, melee attack. He doesn't need that early on because you're going to be up against Skaven. The Skaven are quite weak. You can chuck him in against 3 or 4 Skaven units and he'll hold his own very easily. So look after him and make sure you send him in like a wrecking ball against them. Your Soros Warriors are going to be the base of your army early game. You're going to want to make sure that they have been buffed up as much as they can. You're going to be going across against Skaven all across this coastline by here. You're going to want to go south, take out this army, go for the Serpent Coast, work your way down south, knock off the other Skaven buildings and settlements, take them and consolidate this coastline. I'd actually recommend not going for the Cursed Jungle until you've consolidated and you've got your income up to a good standard. You go along here, you'll probably come up against Clan Moors, try and take them out, and I probably would say just make your way to sort of where the High Elves sort of meet you around about by here, because no doubt you'll come across the High Elves down the bottom of this coastline. Consolidate there and stay there for a few turns. Get your economy sorted out, make sure you're not overspending, get rid of the rats as soon as you can, and do any missions relating to that sort of stuff as you can. As far as diplomacy goes, this is how things start off with. So you're at war with Clan Mordkin, which I've already mentioned. They have 2 settlements which are down this coastline. You want to take them out, get that money from there, and invest that as best as you can. Blight Tribe. They are a Beastmen faction, which you're going to have to be wary of. They will appear, most likely, between the Golden Tower and the Serpent Coast. So if you take the Serpent Coast, recommend trying to build that up a little bit first. The Golden Tower is held by another Lizardmen faction, Tlaqua. I would recommend not going beyond the Golden Tower. If you can take the Golden Tower without going at war with the lizards, great. But I wouldn't be sort of trying to take the Golden Tower straight away. If they lose it to the rat people, that's fine. If Skaven take it, it's not a problem at all. If it gets sacked or looted or whatever, it's fine. You can go in there and sweep in and take it for yourself afterwards when the time is right. But I wouldn't go beyond the Golden Tower. And I'd be aware that the Beastmen tribe will appear here, and you are going to want to make sure you've got an army nearby, because you might lose the Serpent Coast. You may have to pull an army back, especially if you're at war with Clan Mordkin. So just keep that in mind when you're doing this campaign. So to conclude so far, be aware of the Beastmen around here. They will appear at some stage. Go down the coast here, ignore the Cursed Jungle, and pick off the settlements and do the missions accordingly. Build up your army with Soros Warriors and invest in Soros Warriors early game. That's the sort of starting point that you want in the first few turns, probably the first 5 turns or so of this campaign. As far as buildings go, this is what you start off with. The Underground Lagoon, which gives you your Soros Spears and Soros Warriors. And then you can build that up then to a Sacred Spawning Caverns, which will give you Soros Spears with shields and the Soros Warriors with shield. I'd recommend going for that. Shielded versions are going to be good, especially if you come up against missile troops, which the Skaven will have. And also, if you do end up in the future going at war with the High Elves, which could possibly happen in your campaign, you're going to want to have your warriors shielded. Also, a reason why you want to get that, you'll see it's called the Sacred Spawning Caverns, and I believe Sacred Spawning Caverns is on here. It's going to give you plus 500 treasury off the bat as well. So you can knock off these 2 early missions straight away by doing that. For your other building slot, you could go and get some growth and casualty replenishment if you so wanted to. You could swap things around and go for skinks instead. I'd recommend not going for skinks early on. You don't really need them this early. You could probably get the skink building tree down here maybe. You don't need it to start off with. Your Soros Warriors will definitely suffice against the Skaven. That's all you're going to need, really. If you're playing with Crockgar, be aware he does have Croxigors as monstrous infantry, and he has a Feral Stegodon. Feral Stegodon is a fantastic unit to have. It causes terror. Armored Piercing is armored. It does have Rampage. It has 9,000 hit points, and it has very good leadership as well. You can throw him into melee against the Skaven, and he will rout 3 or 4 units on his own. Use them accordingly. Have him as a tank. Keep at the back of your lines. Let all of your Soros Warriors crash into the enemy, and then send him in afterwards to do damage. Same sort of thing with your Croxagors. You can see comparing the Feral Stegodon to the Croxagors, the Stegodon is much better. You want to keep them alive, definitely. The Croxagors do have 8,000 hit points though, and they also have predatory senses, which if we go over it by here, these units are natural hunters and they can sense prey hiding nearby. So they can fish out any Skaven units that are hiding in the forest. They also have armor piercing, which is going to be very good against units from the High Elves. So a unit you want to keep alive for when you fight the High Elves further down the line. And that would basically sort of start things off here. If I go back to diplomacy briefly here, I mentioned about the Blight Tribe. You have the dwarves up here as well, Karak Zorn. I would recommend staying on good terms with these. Try and get a non-aggression pact with them as soon as you can. They have their own wars going on here with Arachnos, which is a green-skinned tribe which have Mount Arachnos and the Lost Plateau. Be aware of what happens in this war here, but possibly non-aggression pact to start off with is probably the way to go. Karak Zorn, at the moment I can't get one because I already have one in place with them, which is great. After a couple of turns, see how things go. Depending on if you expand further, you might be able to get a trade agreement with them at some point, so be aware of that as well. So what I'll do now, I will try and show you a battle early on. I'm actually not going to attack Clan Mordkin this turn. I'm just going to bring him up to the border here. Clan Mordkin have a tendency to retreat, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get some more troops. I'm probably going to go with the Soros Spears. Get 2 of them, get 1 Soros Warrior, and Temple of the Skulls. We will probably get some income to start off with. We just check things out. Public orders -5, but we've got plenty of turns yet, so maybe just get a bit more income to start off with. You can always change it further on. And then diplomacy wise, check who's good and who's bad. If you can get a couple of non-aggressions and stuff, which you possibly can, that's going to be good. And if we can get money from it, even better. So we're just going to see if I can get 300 out of this guy. It's actually low, so I'm just going to go with a non-aggression. Been rejected. The elves actually like us to start off with. So non-aggression and possibly money from them. It's actually viable, so I've just gained 300 coins from him. Worth doing that on the first turn if possible. The Bowmen of Orion, the Wood Elves. Same sort of thing here, non-aggression and money. Is it viable? It's not, but what about non-aggression on its own? It is, that's fine. You never know, these might play a big role in the future of the campaign. If the Wood Elves are still around up here, and you've got all of the south, then possibly trade. And they act as a good buffer depending on who they're at war with if you do plan to go up north and start trying to tackle the Tomb Kings and other Lizardmen factions. So it's worth keeping that in mind. Keep your eye on your other Lizardmen friends though, because if you are able to sort of convert with them and merge your forces, then that would be very good as well. It also save you sort of traveling around the map if you have settlements that you're able to take for yourself, and also if you can get agreements with them, then they'll give you some intel on where other enemies are on the map, so keep that in mind as well. So this is what we're going to do for this first turn. It also says hero has not been moved. You have a hero that you start off with, a Skink Priest, very useful unit. If I show you what he has here in skills and what I'd recommend going through Harmonic Convergence and then getting Wind Blast straight away. It causes moderate magical damage, it can disrupt unit formations, and is also strong versus multiple units, which you're going to be fighting early on against the Skaven. So definitely get Wind Blast as soon as you can. You can use him as a unit to sort of help your income and population stuff if you want to, but to start off with, I'm happy to stick him in the army as an extra infantry unit to try and get him some experience when we have a battle. Hitting the end turn button now. I'm quite happy with what we've done so far. We'll just fly through this end turn phase, see how things fall into place, and then we'll take it from there. So Clan Mordkin, as expected, to run back. That's fine. We're going to be much stronger now. We're going to have an extra unit in my army, plus we're going to have the units we just recruited as well. I'm going to use Ratok to do some scouting for me. Always worth using your agent in this sort of way. You can see the Serpent Coast is showing as nobody in it, but don't be surprised if Skaven were hiding here. We could actually take this now. for an easy 1,000 or so. And of course we can actually upgrade this. Don't have to get it straight away though. I'm happy enough just to end turn. I can always come back and upgrade that. Keep the money building up for now, because you will be spending a large sum of money in the next few turns. There's an army from Clan Mordkin right there. And as expected, the Blight Tribe are about. That's only 9, that's not too bad. They do sometimes appear with a full stack around the Golden Tower, so you've got to be careful. But I'll use this opportunity to expand. I've got money building up. I'm just going to go and take the Serpent Coast. And as expected, the Skaven have appeared. Now the balance of power is heavily in my favour here. I will be auto-resolving this. But you can choose to fight it if you want to. It's going to auto-resolve. I haven't lost a unit, which is the important thing. Decisive victory. Wiped them out, got more money again. And it's going to occupy this. And as you can see, Clan Mordkin have been revealed. But because we did that first mission, we have gained 1,000 in the treasury, plus more plaques as well. Enemies killed. Excellent. And another one's been issued now to maintain control of one province, which we're going to be doing in the near future. So it's good. It rewards us for expanding, which is exactly what's happened. I can use my agent now to sort of scout ahead if I want to. Because the Serpent Coast is part of the Kingdom of the Beasts, I can definitely upgrade the Temple of Skulls for better units with shielded variation. Plus it gives me 500 from the mission, which I'm going to be doing. I could upgrade the Serpent Coast as well for 1,600, which we're also going to be doing, because we want to try and consolidate around here if we can. Our Lord has leveled up. Skill point. So I can give his leadership more, or give his campaign map. I'm going to go with campaign map to start off with, just so I can reach some of the enemies that are hiding. Don't forget Skaven do tend to hit and run quite a lot, so keep that in mind. And also, we can keep recruiting. I could wait a couple of turns to get that building in now, or I can just get them with these units. These units are throwaway, to be honest with you, so don't feel ashamed. Just go and recruit willy-nilly like this. You want to try and get a full stack as cheap as you can to start off with, because you can, especially with Skaven, the balance power on auto-resolve is so ridiculous at the moment that you just saw with that battle then, we were able to auto-resolve that because we had really good units in this army like the Stegodon and the Kroxigors. I'd wait until you consolidate first before you decide to get a second army. You should be okay to just expand like this. I'm just going to use my agent just to scout ahead, see if there's anybody lurking up here. Sometimes you'll find armies lurking up here. Just going to go back again now. Fast forward through the end of turn sequence. So far so good, pretty strong start. That tribe's gone down there as well. Another mission has been issued. Capture and occupy the following settlement, the Golden Tower. Now I don't actually want to do that because I don't want to be on bad terms with these guys here. Kalakwa. I can actually trade with these guys now, so non-aggression. I'll ask him for money. Not happy with that. Still don't want a non-aggression pact. What if I was to give them a small offering of money though? No. My relationship is improving with them. Next turn it'll be in the green, so I'll try again then. But be aware of when you expand. You can trade. You can see by here now we've got our elfish friends Toel Asso on the coast down by here, and they actually like us quite a bit.
Welcome. Your words
I can get trade with them.
will be watched with interest.
Possibly they'll pay me for the trade,
Wise.
which they have. So I've made more money again. Gaming the AI, got 300 coins out of that, and a bit of trade. My economy's looking pretty good right now. We've got the Temple of Skulls, we've got the Cursed Jungle in our back pocket, which we can get any time. Public Order's a little bit unhappy, but that's fine, that'll easily be solved. I can get more money by getting the Skink Barrios, which will give us 270, plus the Tablet of Crafts, which will give us some technology. At the moment, we start off with no technology, but the Tablet of Crafts, which is here, will give us additional tradable resources, produce plus 5%. Gives us better income from industry, and this will help you generate more money over time, which is something which is quite difficult early on with the Lizardmen, something you want to sort of keep in your back pocket as you're going through the campaign. As you can see, the Skaven here, don't be surprised if the Skaven own this, and I'd say they are recruiting. So we have to act quickly here, keep recruiting as we go along, wait until we fully strength again. We know that we've got another turn before we can get the really good units. I could just sit here for a turn, or I could wait. But I'm happy just to keep spending a bit of money here and there. Get the Soros Warriors now, or wait until they got the shields for a turn. I can also wait 2 turns before I put something else in the Serpent Coast. The Serpent Coast, I'll probably just put a public order building just to help with the public order, because once I leave here with my army, they won't be too happy. So that's kind of where we are right now. This sort of part of the campaign is up to you. It depends what you'd rather do as a campaign player. Either be aggressive and expand, or you can wait until you're full stack. I find waiting until you're full stack sometimes is the best option here. You can clearly see that the Skaven are beat up. They've only got 1 lord here, I would say, who's mustering troops, and they've only got 9 here. So I'm quite confident that what I've got here can get past these quite easily. It says my hero hasn't been moved. Use him again as an agent. Scout ahead. What's going on over here? What factions can you discover? And straight away, something else has been revealed to us. Clan Molder. So you know there's another army here from the Skaven that you've got to be wary of. So keep all that in mind. And we'll end turn here. And we'll be on our 5th turn now. Once we get to it, there we go. Loading time isn't too bad on this game. I find it much better than the first Warhammer game. Mission successful. So because we constructed that upgrade, we've got 500 just given to us straight away. A mission has now been issued to kill 500 enemies in battle, and we've got 15 turns to do that. No doubt that will be done quite easily. And by here, you'll get blessed spawnings of blessed Soros Warriors with shields. Excellent reward to get early on. Another mission has been issued to research a technology. Again, treasury 500. So we just go to technology. Tab at the Soros, we'll get that. Tab at the crafts will be done eventually, so we can get that. But tablet of the Soros will give us weapon strength for the Soros Warriors. So not only will we get plus 10% for the weapon strength of my Soros units here, but through our Lord, wherever he's gone by here, by going along that tree that we talked about earlier, a Proud Warrior, we can get them plus 8 melee attack, plus 6 armor, and plus 10 weapon strength. So it'll be quite formidable and should be able to beat back any early game units you come across for the most part. Mission issued. Establish a trade agreement with the following faction. Bowman of Orion, again, plus 1000 treasury and ancient plaques plus 8. So, Bowman of Orion, our friends from earlier on. We can't trade them at the moment because they can't get a trade route from us. But who knows, in the future, possibly we can. I'm more interested in Talakwa at the moment. Still can't get that non-aggression pact. If I can get non-aggression with them, I mean, I could go and take that out for me if I wanted to. But you've got to be wary of attacking these. They have 4 settlements, which are sort of up here. And if I was to attack Talakwa, it comes up by here. Attacking foreign assets is an act of war. That will affect our sort of overall rating on the campaign map. People will be less likely to trade with us because we're not going to be reliable. It'll affect our reliability rating, which is not good. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have one more turn where I can recruit, and now you can clearly see the difference here. So if I get the Soros Spears and tag them by here, and then go on to Soros Spears with shields, not an awful lot changes, except they have predatory senses, they have anti-large, they are shielded, and they have a better defense. Plus they have 10,200 hit points, which is exactly the same. They do have, let's see, they cost 5 more, so it only costs 5 more, but they're a much better unit. So get them, and the same with the Soros Warriors with shields. They are far better, although they do have primal instincts. But I'm just going to go with Soros Spears. Seems to be the way to go. And then get one more by here. I'll just go all out and get the Soros Warriors. That's a pretty good stack of 16 troops there now. I know I've got only 2 skinks, but I'm going to play it like that and get more missile troops in the future. And the next turn we can sail out and we're able to beat back anything we come across here. Give me my 3rd settlement. Dwarves are up here recruiting. We've established trade with these. We're going to keep working on Talakwa and try and get something with them. We're going to hit off the rest of our missions here, and we're going to just go down the coast here. Knock off these 2 settlements here, the Temple of Avenue of Gold and Teotihuacan. We're going to consolidate our economy. We're going to research what we can, and We're going to have a strong army to start off with. And if I show you the grand map, if it lets me by here, if I zoom out, basically all of this coastline by here will eventually become yours. It's up to you what you do then from this point on. You can either go around the coast here, pick off the rest of the Skaven, which is probably the most logical thing to do. Take any buildings they have and consolidate around here. Try and confederate with the rest of the Lizardmen tribes, which are in the forests up here. And try and get a grip on all of this. If you want to betray the High Elves eventually and knock out these, you can. If you want to move inland more, come against the Bowmen of Orion and the Tomb Kings, that's totally up to you. But this will give you the strongest start in the campaign. That's basically it, guys. This is the first 5 turns we've done here in this video. And we've got a strong start, a good economy, a good army, some useful tips on what units to recruit, and sort of what to do with your diplomacy as well. If this video has been helpful, I'd appreciate if you dropped a like and a comment on the video. I've been Dragonheart, the Prince of Wales. Thank you for watching. Until next time, goodbye.